Sure. Let's look at, since we do have this beautiful backdrop of the Country Club of Lansing, I had come to you for your depth of knowledge of country clubs and specifically golf and membership-based organizations, and had mined your experience to help me understand the different strategies that might be available for the Country Club of Lansing. And part of your experience included the fact that you had, for a number of years, been the point person for the Oldsmobile Classic, which was the women's pro golf tournament here in town. So not only did you understand the club market, but you understood the specific application of golf, and you had been, as an economic developer, you had seen a lot of different experiences of things that had been successful and some things that had failed. In your estimation, and in particular looking at the Country Club of Lansing, what did you see as one of the key characteristics of that business that had to be addressed for there to be the beginning of a new growth strategy?
It was kind of a stodgy environment. That
described as no change, kind of a too traditional?
Very traditional, and you need to get younger members in, and as we all know now that in the past, I think it was people were settled, and you grew up here and you got your job here, and you worked for the family business when you stayed here. That doesn't happen anymore.
People are very transitional.
Yes, I mean they may come back in their later years, but when you want them to grow into and become familiar with the club and all the amenities, that the club was not serving a need for families and perhaps even women at some point. That they're almost archaic, outdated ideas on who the golfer is, who their customers, and that is the good identifiers. Who is your customer? Who's your client? That I
Not
don't
only
think
today,
they recognize that.
but...
Yeah, where are you going to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road?
So is it fair to say, and I know you're well-traveled, been to a number of clubs, multiple states and internationally, is it fair to say that the things that you're describing, which we could use with this club, really do apply to most clubs or even to most membership-based organizations, that it's almost a caution to them to not get too lulled into past successes because you have to stay relevant with your paying membership?
Yes, and as rapid as and as transient as we all are in our greater ability to travel and be better educated and go to evening college and learn Italian, all those sorts of things that we want a much better response, and we want a big return on our dollar, and that from a membership organization, let's just say a trade association, is the value that they have to give their members has changed dramatically from the annual meeting where you go somewhere and play golf and you maybe attend a meeting or two, that now that for the expense of travel, one, does the company really want whoever that person is out of the organization for any length of time? And two is, if you're going, then you better be learning something. That you need to bring something back to this organization for us. So what contribution really is that organization doing to improve your business or your trade association?
So what I'm almost hearing you say is, in the past, clubs, membership-based organizations might have thought it was a deliverable product, or how fancy was the clubhouse, or how good was the golf course as the main attractor. What I'm hearing you say is that maybe those aren't the same attractors to membership, people who are members of things today.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And what is it that members of anything really value? What is it that, if it's not the fanciest clubhouse or the greatest amenities or the most competitive golf course or whatever we thought we were supposed to have, what is it that people really are wanting to have out of this thing they belong to?
I think it's the camaraderie, it's the friendships that develop. It's the having somebody to talk to about a common interest, whether it's your business, it's a trade association, or if it's your club and you love the golf course and so you can play 9 and have a burger and a beer. It's beyond what that what that facility, if you will, offers to you. It's
The sense of community.
yes, it's the community of it.
And how hard is it to develop that sense of community?
Well, it depends upon who's leading the charge on the community.
Oh, really? So a sense of community goes at different paces depending on what the leadership is encouraging?
Absolutely.
So one of the most critical pieces of a membership-based entity is providing a relevant sense of value in a community of like-minded people. And its growth is either limited or impeded by a few key people.
Oh, yes. Yeah. A good example that I have, people have just been wild about GE's Jack Welch. Dynamic, charismatic, neat guy. Except when Jack Welch left, not much was getting done. So that it's not just that you have to have a leader there. That person also has to be able to bring in the other people that had developed those people beneath him or are going to be there after him for the longevity that the